Did you hear me? Did you hear what I said? Did you hear me? Did you hear what I said?
Welcome to Did You Hear Me with Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd. And now, here's your host, Eric Michaels and Mike Lee.
And welcome back to the Grady Judd podcast. I'm Eric Michaels.
I'm Mike Lee.
And we are here with the one, the only, the illustrious Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd.
Good morning.
Yay.
How are you, sir?
Is that all the nice things you can say about me?
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say effervescent.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
It means you're bubbly.
I'm from Polk County.
Well, you and the men and women of your office have been busy the past few weeks. Let's start. We're just going to dive right in with the gentleman that tried to bite one of your deputies.
You know, you can't believe this, but it's true. And,
Yeah.
you know, when people come to me with a real crazy story, the crazier it is, the more likely it is to be accurate.
Of course.
So we stop a vehicle, and there's traffic violations. And after we stop the vehicle, this dude decides that Esteban here, yeah, you see his picture? He's 60, he's from Mexico.
Uh-huh.
And he decides he'll hide his crack cocaine.
Oh, boy.
So our deputies say to themselves, Self, I believe he's trying to hide some cocaine on us. The two people on each side of him, the driver and the passenger that has shotgun on the door, is, cool folks,
Yeah, they're
He doesn't
good.
have a shotgun, he's riding shotgun.
Riding shot. Yeah.
He's riding shotgun.
I wondered there for a minute.
My
if you-
mind went right to, he's got a sawed off right next to him.
Which actually, we're okay with that, just not the crack cocaine.
So they're cool, right?
Yeah, they're good.
So we try to get this guy out, and he fights. He elbows us, he kicks, scratches. Just like he's on. His game on.
Full-on resistance.
So once we get him arrested and in handcuffs, we find out that he's here illegally from Mexico. So his little bit of crack cocaine is the least of his problems now, because there is now not only criminal charges against him, but the new state law says because he's here illegally, they go up a level.
Oh, really?
Right.
So instead of third-degree felony for possession of crack cocaine, he's got a second-degree felony for possession of cocaine. And he's got an ICE hold, and the federal people are looking at him that once he finishes his criminal charges with us, that he will be going back
Bye-bye.
to Mexico.
So how does that work? Does he have to finish out some sort of a criminal of a process here and even serve time and then go back to Mexico? Or we just go, you know what, you're out of here?
No, we make them serve their sentence with us first.
Oh, okay.
Now, quite frankly, if it's a minor misdemeanor or
Sure.
something, then it may be better just to say, hey, look, we will drop the charges if you go back to Mexico. And he goes, okay.
Yep, done.
But that's not
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
This is a serious felony.
Of course, yeah.
Especially when he's fighting the law enforcement officers. So he will end up going to state prison if he's convicted. There'll be this ICE hold will stay with him. They'll go through the deportation procedures, and then he'll go from state prison out of the country.
Gotcha.
The years that I have known you and that we've talked to you, it shocks me that people still try to resist. Because your mom always tells you, you get more flies with honey than you do vinegar.
Right.
And if you're caught, just take
Yes,
your
sir.
lumps.
No, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
what-
ma'am. No, ma'am.
What can I do for you?
Yeah.
You know.
See, that's what normal people do. But let me give you an example. We arrest someone, and they are coming into our jail. So they come through a gate that closes behind the patrol car. Then they're walked into the first vestibule area, and we close a big door. And then they go through another door that's a big door. And then we put them in a holding area that's a big door. So there are at least 4 locked doors in jail. We process the paperwork, and we look at them and say, sir, you're going to first appearance tomorrow, so you're going to be with us tonight. So we need for you to take your clothes off and put them in this bag so we can secure them and put these orange clothes on. They'll look you in the face, 4 doors locked in jail, and go, I ain't putting those clothes on. I'm not taking my clothes off. Then we explain very nicely to them, sir, if you don't take your clothes off and put these orange clothes on, we're going to take your clothes off of you,
I feel like
And
that's not a
put-
good thing.
these orange clothes on you.
Yeah.
And probably if we have to take these clothes off of you and you continue to resist us, they won't be in any shape for you to put them back on when you leave. They'll look at you and go, do what you got to do. I'm not taking these off. And by now he's surrounded by like 4 guys or gals.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, just
are you doing?
change clothes.
Yeah.
And they still don't. You have to wrestle them down, pull their clothes off of them, and put their oranges on them. So you see, we're not dealing with normal people that
Right.
do what their mama said. If they did what their mama said, they wouldn't be locked up in jail to begin with.
Let me ask you this, because I think I just learned this in our conversation about the fact that this guy who's arrested for the crack cocaine is going to go through our criminal justice system and even have possibly serve time
Yes.
as a non-U.S. citizen.
Yes.
It almost seems counterintuitive, counterproductive that now our taxpayer dollars are going to house this guy in a jail and feed him and keep him safe for the next 10, 15 years and then finally get rid of him.
Well,
Does that make sense to you? I don't know what the process behind that is.
Yeah, it frustrates me, but it's
Yeah.
necessary because
Yeah.
otherwise you just deport them.
Yeah.
Nothing stops them from sneaking back in
And
again.
doing it again.
right?
It's like a catch-22.
So
Yeah.
they've got to pay their penalty here.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you send them back, and then they come into the country illegally, and they continue to commit crime someplace else.
I see,
So
yeah.
it's just a revolving door. Hey, if the worst thing happens after I beat up the cops is they give me an airplane ticket to Mexico City, no big deal.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
You
I'll
got-
go back, see family, and come back over.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
I just want you to know, though, Sheriff, that if Mike and I were ever arrested, we will cooperate.
Yeah.
And, and we will do what we're told.
We'll gladly take our clothes off for you.
Yeah.
That's right. That's exactly what we expect. You to do. After we take the mugshot.
Right.
Let's move on to road rage. And this is scary.
Road rage.
There's a gentleman, Mitchell Jens, I think the last name is charged with attempted second-degree murder with a weapon after he discharged a weapon from a vehicle at another vehicle. He was driving an F-150, and the dashboard cam of the car that he was shooting at got all the information, and then he turned himself in to investigators. Road rage is real, man.
It is real, and it just shocks my soul every time I see this. So here's the deal. Our suspect's in a pickup truck, and he passes a semi-truck, right? In a no-passing zone, by the way.
Oh, boy.
And as he passes the semi-truck, he shoots at the semi-truck several times and takes off. Well, the semi-truck has what? A video recorder. Listen, folks, for all of you that don't understand, and you know, I'm talking to the people who have 3 brain cells, okay, because the rest of the world knows this other than you. There's video every place.
Yes.
So we get a video of his car, his tag, and his little skull on this little sticker on the back of his windows. He zooms away. So the truck driver stops and he calls us, and we, run the tag and make a phone call, and it's the suspect's wife. Is the suspect there? Oh, no. Is he in this car? Oh, yeah, he's in the truck. He's like, he went to Polk County. And, of course, we found him, and he had pulled the little skull thing off.
Oh, yeah.
So we said, why did you pull your sticker off? It was so cool. He said, well, because y'all were looking for me. So anyway, we told him we need to talk to you. He says, I need a lawyer. We said, go get you a lawyer. We'll see you at jail. And he turned himself in.
Yeah.
He got angry.
Oh, boy.
He said, well, the semi, tried to crowd me. Dude, you're the one passing on the double yellow line.
Yeah, hello.
And we got video out of the truck. And guess what? No, he wasn't crowding you.
Yeah.
You were just being an idiot.
Right.
Now, you obviously had 3 brain cells, and 2 of them were out to lunch.
You know what sucks about this is that road rage is so easy to avoid.
Oh, of course.
I mean, I feel like everybody gets road rage.
Oh, sure.
Who doesn't get frustrated if you get cut off in traffic or
Right.
whatever may happen? But like when it happens to me, I curse, their name, rah, 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 but I'm not like honking and waving and trying to cut them. You know what I mean? That's as far as it goes. I'm angry in my own little private space, and then that way nothing happens and nothing bad happens. You know what I mean?
And usually at the beginning of road rage,
Yeah.
it's not an intentional, I'll cut you off.
Right, yeah.
It was a mistake.
Sure.
And this guy reacts, and then that guy reacts, and then
Right.
this guy reacts, and the next thing you know, you've got an event,
Yeah.
or as I say, a situation.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens with situations, somebody ends up shot, somebody ends up in jail.
Right.
So the best thing to do is say, hey, it's not worth it. You're right, big guy. I made a mistake.
Yep.
Let me back off and get out of
And
this.
that's what I try to do. I just go, I'm angry for my 1 second, and then it's all right. That's it. Let it go.
Yep.
Well, I just like to say that anybody that drives a pickup truck is usually a jerk.
What?
Mike has a pickup truck, by the way. That's why I included that.
I'm sure
I
Sheriff
saw
Grady
that,
Judd
but
has a
So
pickup.
does like 80% of the
Yeah,
people in Polk County. You can tell this guy doesn't get elected.
or have
he
many
would-
friends. Yeah.
Or, yes, right. Or have many friends, and if the friends he's got can't be the right kind. If you don't have a pickup truck someplace
Exactly.
around.
Oh, see? Look at there.
Moving on. There are, whenever we have a story that comes up, usually in my training, I just do the story and move on. There are very few stories that actually bother me, but this one really bothered me. I'm talking about the cranker colony that you arrested.
Yeah.
The Cranker Colony.
Yes.
I love that term, by the way, that you said in the press conference, cranker colony. It's just perfect for what these people are.
Well, birds of a feather flock together.
Yep.
Now, that's not original, by the way.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. We've got a young man, military man, who's off serving his country.
Mm-hmm.
His mother is a senior citizen and by herself. He has taken care of her, and she was living in his house. So he says, well, I'm deployed up here at the other end of the country for a while. Mom's not getting along very well. I'll bring her with me.
Mm-hmm.
So he leaves a car there and the house all sealed up. That's last October. About February, maybe February electric bill, maybe the March electric bill, whichever one. He notices, wow, where did all that electricity usage come from?
Yeah.
So he got to checking into it and found out Cranker Colony moved in. Well, not only did they go there, they ravished his house. They took everything. Did you hear what I said? It was a completely furnished house. They took everything. They took his car.
Wow.
And then they ran electricity out and were living in a shed in an adjacent lot and running electricity. Now, why they didn't live in the house?
I was just about to say, why?
Crankers don't necessarily make a lot of sense.
They have 3 brain cells.
It's
Right,
like,
yeah.
hey, dude, we've broken into this house and we have stolen everything and we've moved this couch into our shed. Let's live in the shed instead of in the house where all the beds were. So anyway, here's your picture.
Yeah.
I mean, one guy's name is Stone. That's an appropriate name.
Yeah. Yeah, really.
He looked stoned, but they were hanging out together. Now here's the deal. When we went to arrest him, this guy here, okay, was like the father of this lady's child. She's 7 months pregnant.
Okay.
He runs off and leaves his pregnant girlfriend
Wow.
with us.
What a dude.
Classy guy.
Yeah.
Hey, what a dude. Let's see, do I want to run or do I want to stay here and protect my girlfriend and my soon-to-be child?
Wow.
Well, I want to run.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But this is a classic cranker colony. And they had all kinds of mess going on there, and we arrested them.
Well, it's bad enough that they're doing it at all. I mean, that's terrible.
Of course.
But the fact that they're doing it to somebody who's off serving his country, who's in the service, it even gives that much more of a kick in the groin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
It
what really
is.
bugged me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know what? The neighbor watched them load up the vehicle and didn't say anything. So when we got there, we go, like, why didn't you call us? And he said, well, you know, the car had been there a long time, and I thought it was abandoned, and I thought, you know, maybe somebody gave it to him. Do you think you should have maybe called us and let us check it out?
Yeah.
See something,
Yeah,
say something.
that probably would have been a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean,
they forgot rule number 1.
he was
Yeah.
very cooperative once
Sure.
we, like, woke him up.
Yeah. Then all of a sudden he's like, you know what? You're right. I should have
Hey, why didn't I think of that?
Well, if you would have had your honorary deputy there, he probably would have been on top of it.
No doubt.
This is a great story, and it's a great way to end up our podcast here. Devarjay, is that how you pronounce the first name? Daniel, or DJ, as everybody calls him.
DJ.
You swore him in as an honorary deputy.
I did. Let me tell you what I know about DJ. DJ has, it's reported to me, has had 13 surgeries.
Oh, my.
He has got brain cancer and supposedly terminal brain cancer.
Oh, no.
And his goal was to be sworn in at 1,000 law enforcement agencies. Well, up until he came to our shop, he was at number 913.
Oh, wow.
And he called us.
That's pretty good.
And said, his dad called us and said, we've been watching you on social media, and DJ really wants to get sworn in really bad. And this is the one that's the biggest to him. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, they just made you a Secret Service agent, you know, with President Trump's speech deal, and you'd rather be sworn in by me?
Yeah.
What an honor.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, he came down. He was the funniest guy. He was a lot of fun, and I swore him in. But one of the reasons that I wanted to do that, I watched the speech that night. And when they introduced DJ, who is a 13-year-old child with brain cancer, has had 13 surgeries, when President Trump introduced him, half of the Congress didn't stand up and clap. They're that politically polarized that they couldn't stand up for a 13-year-old child with cancer. Now, you can have all the political disagreements you want,
Yeah.
but you've crossed the line when you won't stand up for a 13-year-old child. So it was my honor to make him number 914. And I understand that there's maybe Kansas or something is going to have a state police chiefs meeting and swear him in at like 100 different
Oh,
police
wow, that's
agencies
cool.
at
good,
one time.
good.
So our goal is to get this young man to 1,000 law enforcement agencies where he's sworn in as an honorable deputy or an honorable police officer
Sure, yeah.
or whatever he wants to be sworn in as.
That's really awesome. Do you have any idea where that came from? Did he explain, like, was he just a loved law enforcement? It's just something he always wanted to do, or?
It was his goal to grow up and be a law enforcement officer. And his big fear is he's not going to be able to grow up and be a law enforcement officer. And he wanted to do the next best thing.
Yeah.
So he's an honorary deputy sheriff.
That's fantastic.
And that's an honorable thing. And think about this. Think about this. At 13 years old, you're not supposed to be looking at your bucket list.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
So because we all appreciate his work, his tenacity, his energy, his enthusiasm, law enforcement officers and agencies all over the United States want to help him out.
Yeah.
And since they've seen our social media page, we've had a lot of agencies say, we'd like to make him an honorable police chief or police officer.
Nice.
So there you go. We're doing our best to help him to get to 1,000.
And obviously, we didn't get to meet him in person, but just looking at the photos and reading the post on social media, he looked like a great kid. It looked like you guys were having just as much fun, if not more, than he was.
From the second he came in the office, you thought we'd been friends his entire life.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He never met a stranger. He was funny as he could be.
Yeah.
And he told me, he said, you know why they arrested the duck? He said, no. He says, because he had quack.
Oh,
That
boy.
was his first joke.
Fantastic.
Well, as always, it's great to sit and chat with you, Sheriff. Thank you so much for taking time with us. We appreciate it. We'll see you again soon.
I look forward to spending time with you very soon.
Thank you, buddy.
See you later.